Hi everyone. So I'm here, my final day, Cayo Coco Cuba. And as you can see behind me, we came for the beach. Like the beach is awesome. White sandy beach, turquoise water. You can do snorkeling. Like the beach is amazing. That is the highlight of our vacation here in Cayo Coco, Cuba. So a little bit of information about Cuba. As you may know, Cuba is, I'll say it's a communist island. So there are some things that you will notice immediately. For example, if you were to go into a grocery store, like it clearly says grocery store, but all you can find is just alcohol. When you arrive, just be prepared to carry lots of bug spray with you. You will absolutely need bug spray, especially at the airport. As soon as you get there, the mosquitoes will welcome you by pretty much sucking your blood. And it's very hot. So we're here in August and it is very hot. So expect humidity, expect heat. Bring lots of sunscreen. Also bring with you your hat, and like light clothing. The other thing to expect here, Cayo Coco it's an island by itself, so it's separated from anything else. So in Havana, like you're connected to the mainland. Here there's a long bridge that connects you to a city called Mohran, and Mohran is where the people, like the staff who are at Memories or any of the resort on Cayo Coco, that's where they stay. So I will highlight some photos at the end to show you where and what that is. But Cayo Coco is just like a tourist destination. You go and that's all there is really. So there isn't like Havana where you can take a tour into the city and just see like real Cuban living. So if you're booking Cayo Coco, just know that you're just here for the beach, for the resort, maybe a couple of day trips, on a catamaran or even on the Jeep safari. There is like a zoo, but all you find there is some alligators, and we saw one flamingo. So just be mindful what you're going into. Cayo Coco is just a resort. That's it. There's nothing else. There is a market, but again, it's touristy, so all you find are like just souvenirs. If you are traveling, just make sure that you have all necessities, especially women when it comes to like that time of the month where you need your sanitary napkins and stuff like that. Just be sure to pack it in your luggage. Don't forget it, even if you may think that it's not that time, or you're past your period. Just carry a couple of packs just in case. I had a rude awakening, so I had planned my period and it wasn't supposed to happen, but guess what showed up? And I didn't carry any sanitary napkins with me, so I had to go ask. My husband had to go ask. He was lucky enough to find a worker who was able to give us some. But whether or not you think it's that time of month, just throw a few packs into your luggage. And if you don't use it, leave it for the staff, because what I found out is it's very difficult to get those sanitary napkins and just those everyday necessities that women would need when they're on their period. So note to self, note to you, the women, just pack a few, like 30 pack tampons or like your pads. Just throw it in your luggage. It's very light, it doesn't weigh much, but at least if it does happen, you're prepared. And also you can leave it for the women. So when we asked the staff here, like they all said the same thing. It's very hard to find sanitary napkins in Cuba. It's like nearly impossible. They say that they have an internet. I think it's just a Cuban intranet that they exchange or shop on. So again, bring your sanitary napkins with you. All right, so next is, we're here at Memories Flamenco. The property is beautiful. The workers are friendly, but if you're going to stay here, I would highly recommend booking the Diamond Club, just the Diamond status. It makes a big difference. One, you get access to the beach. We're in this building and it's very close to the beach. You get access to the snack bar and it's just for Diamond Club members. There's also a Diamond Club restaurant that is only for Diamond Club members. And the beauty of it is it's air conditioned. And in contrast to the buffet where everyone eats, there's like minimal flies. So one thing you will notice when you go in to eat on the first day at Memories Flamenco is you will notice lots of flies, and they're all over the food, especially the bread. Yeah, that was a big surprise for us. So the Diamond Club, they pretty much spray, they take care of the flies. I mean, there will be one or two, but it's nothing compared to what you'll find in the buffet at the Flamenco. So book the Diamond Club experience if you are able to. It does make a difference. The other thing to really kind of keep in mind is your excursions. So when we got here the first morning around 10 o'clock, we went to our Sunwing rep. That's who we traveled with. There's also an Air Canada rep. So it depends on who you flew with. So in the morning when you get there, just go to your rep and book your excursions, get that out of the way. We booked the Catamaran with the dolphins, and that was a pretty good experience. We have 2 young kids, so for us we wanted to do something that everyone enjoyed. There were also couples there who enjoyed it, so it's not just for families, it's for families and couples. So yeah, it's the dolphin and catamaran excursion. So with that, you take a boat, you're out for about at least 5 hours of the day. But you start off, the bus picks you up, then you go to pick up other guests at other resorts, then they take you to like the marina, you get on board the catamaran, and then you sail out. So there we were able to swim and snorkel. We were also able to find this awesome like sandy area in the middle of the sea where you can just walk on to the sand, and it was like just an island in the middle, just sand beneath you. It was pretty cool. So I'd highly recommend that excursion. Some other guests mentioned that they did the Jeep Safari, which was nice as well. After the catamaran, we did the dolphin interaction where the kids were able to touch the dolphin and kiss the dolphin, and the dolphin did some tricks and flips, and that was really cool. We got some awesome photos, and then we went to eat at the restaurant there. The food there was pretty good. Again, I always look out for flies, minimal flies. It was a good experience. And a little tip, the lobster, I didn't have it, I'm allergic, but the lobster looked pretty good. There were some guests who went in for seconds because it was that good. And if you do want seconds, then I would suggest grabbing like $1 US or $2 to slip to the server, and because everyone's allowed 1 meal ticket. So if you want extras, I just suggest that slip in a little US dollars so that you can get a little extra lobster. And so that was the excursion we did. We also met a Cuban, and we did like a tour in Catamaran in a classic car, and I will also update some photos on the classic car. That was good as well. It was very hot. It's not air conditioned, so be prepared to jump on board some vehicles that may not be air conditioned, and that's okay. You just sweat it off. But we went into his home, we saw how they lived, we saw the complex where all the workers live, and then we went into the city. And that's where we also did the safari with the alligators as well. So that being said, you can do some local tours. If you talk to like the front desk reception, they all know each other, they have friends, and they can hook you up. It may be cheaper than going through the the resort. Also, you're just helping the local people. Yeah. All right. Okay, here's a little fun fact. My husband just mentioned that the spray that they use for the insects is like tar and diesel. So if you see that, that smoke, just run in the opposite direction, or just run in any direction. Don't go towards it, because it's not the best. Just trying to think of what else. Oh, do not tip in Canadian coins or any coins, because that's a no. It's a no-no. One tip that will make the local people extremely happy here in Cuba is gifting them things that you may think is not necessary for you, or things that you just want to throw away. Bring it, fill up a suitcase and bring it. They will appreciate it. So for example, like maybe old electronics, just hard reset or factory reset it and bring it, obviously with the chargers, or old iPads, bring those, or old clothing. What we did is we went to the dollar store and we got some stuff for kids, like pens, notepads, glue, pencils, erasers, sharpeners. We also brought some sewing, like threads and needle. So bring things that they can use. Also water bottles. It's very hot here. We end up giving our driver one of our water bottles. Yeah, so gift them things, because again, it's a communist country, so they can't get things that we take for granted, and they will appreciate it so much. And I almost forgot, so when we first got here, we got a room on the first floor. That was a terrible experience, I have to admit, because as soon as we walked in, it smelled like the room was molded, like there was just mold. And then sure enough, when we walked in, the floor and the baseboards were molded. Also in that room, I think I killed about maybe 20 plus mosquitoes. And the kids were just like not having it. Anyway, we managed to sleep through the night, but we asked for a change. So we upgraded to the third floor. And the third floor, which is where I'm at right now, it's amazing because we're higher above, and it's harder for the mosquitoes to fly through the wind. So it's a better experience. Our room didn't have one mosquito, but it did have ants. So we found a nest of ants trying to climb up to our bed on the third floor. And we used our bug spray to kind of clean it out, and we mentioned it to the front desk, and they also came and cleaned it out. So I would say, if you do not like bugs, mosquitoes, or any of those crawly little critters, ask for a floor that is higher, that's higher up. Yeah. So at Memories Flamenco, one of the highlights for me at the buffet area was the pasta. There's a pasta section where they make the pasta right in front of you. One of the ways to kind of be safe and not get food poisoning, and all that stuff, is just go towards the chefs that are actually cooking the food. And even if, let's say, you were to pick up chicken from the buffet area, just take it to like the grill and have them cook it up for you. That makes a difference, because if there are any parasites on that food left over by the flies, that heat will automatically kill it and make it safer for you to eat. So a little advice: take the food from the buffet area if you notice there are lots of flies, and bring it over to the section. There are some flat tops where they just pour the food onto, heat it up and cook it, so it kills any parasites. But the pasta, like, I really didn't notice any flies around that area. I guess it's just so hot with the guys cooking. So do the pasta. Like, it was a lifesaver. I think we ate pasta every day. Actually, I don't think. We ate pasta every day because it was, like, for me, safer. So we would just ask for whatever sauces. You can put in vegetables, proteins, pepperoni, fill your pork, and then add it to your pasta. But what I did was I would add like the red sauce, the white sauce, and I had them add some wine to it as well. Like, I just love my pasta with wine. The chef there at the pasta station was very accommodating. Like, as soon as I arrived and he saw me, he would go, "Ooh, vino." And he would add vino to my pasta, and that would make an awesome meal. The mangoes there are amazing. So if you do get mangoes, I think pasta and mangoes, that's basically what I survived on. The food in Cuba, everybody knows the food is not the greatest. They do try their best with what they have. But mangoes are amazing. Pasta, good. And if you're in the Diamond Club, the omelets are good. Also, like anything deep fried, safer to eat, right? I would stay away from any dairy. And if you're doing meats, like I said, just make sure your meats are cooked thoroughly. And that will avoid any kind of, gastrointestinal or any kind of food poisoning from happening. And yeah, so we actually saw some Canadians here who brought their own Nutella. Some had like hazelnut spread. There were some guests who left us ketchup and some Italian dressing. So you can bring some items like that to help your culinary experience, become even better. But just remember, you're not coming to Cuba for the food. You're coming for the beach. Right there, you're coming for that. You're coming for the beach. So the food is secondary. As long as you're able to stay hydrated and you're nourished a bit, I mean, look at this gorgeous beach. So I think that's all I wanted to leave you with. I hope some of this information will be useful when you're planning your Cayo Coco vacation. And again, we stayed at the Cayo Coco Memories Flamenco. There are no flamencos here, so don't be fooled. But yeah, and if you liked this video, if it was useful to you, please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. That way we can keep doing videos that are useful. Thank you, and have a great vacation. Oh, and also cervezas, you can have as many as you want. It's only 4%, but still drink responsibly if you have kids with you. And that's about it. So till next time, we'll see you again. Have a great vacation. Cayo Coco Memories Flamenco. Ciao.
Here. Here.